And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 60 Cycle Hum. Feedback. The new thing that's the old thing that I've always done. I just realized that it can have a name. How's everyone doing today? In the comments section of this live video. It looks like there's 23 people here. I'm going to start out right out of the gate by getting into a comment that I got. I saved a bunch of comments as screen grabs throughout the week, and I've got them and I'm ready to read them and react to them. So this is from Space Monkey on my Why Do I Suck at Guitar video. And he says, so you suck. If you want to do something about this, I hope I can be brutally honest with you. You think you suck at guitar. Belief drives behavior. You think, therefore you are. Stop thinking you suck and just learn. All right. I'll just do it then. I'll just learn. It's so easy. I'm just going to learn now, guys. I wonder if I can change the way that looks. Oh, look at that. That looks a little bit better. There we go. All right. So just learn. Number 2, you think it's just about skill and behavior of playing a guitar. It has more to do with your beliefs. It's going to be a religious thing. I religiously suck at guitar. You think you're above your talent and not being honest to yourself. I mean, that video had a whole second part where I said that I don't suck at guitar. Like, did he write all this before he got to the back half of it? Number 4, you have sabotaging beliefs. Watch your video to hear them. You are trying to justify why you don't have time to play to the level you want to. Trying to justify why I don't have time. I've got to take care of my kids and my family and my house and everything. Trying to justify my time. Like when I have free time, I use it. Oh, and this person doesn't know how much time I actually do spend playing just for the sake of practicing, for the sake of fun, for this, like I do. We all get stuck places. We all have it. Number 5, you play based on your emotions versus ability. Number 6, you're lazy about putting the work and playing something different. That's true. He has a point. I said that in the video. 7, you give up too easy. If I gave up too easy, I wouldn't be here, guys. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff that I do that I just grind it until it works out. And this whole thing is one of them. Number 8, you're more concerned about what others think that you judge yourself. No, that's not me. You're projecting on yourself, dude. Number 9, lastly, you keep telling yourself that you have been playing for 25 years. Here's where we get into some interesting math. If you work out how many minutes a week you play and play something different, you will probably find it's conservatively in total over 25 years. It's 54 days or 1,300 hours, optimistically 108 days or 2,600 hours, and your whole guitar playing life. Even if you double that, you still need 100 hours to meet mastery. 100 hours? Oops. Didn't know I could scroll with mouse. As in the great word of the Beatles, mastery comes after 10,000 hours. Unless you own this, yes, you continue believing that you suck. Oh my gosh. This guy, it's not bad information, but you guys don't, people watching at home, you don't actually know me or anyone else on YouTube. You know how we present ourselves after editing and how we, perform for the camera and stuff like that. Oh man, don't tell people who and what they are over the internet. Because you really have no idea. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go to another one. I got this one today, I think. Chastity whore said on my Why Don't I Like Rickenbackers videos. It happens to guitar players raised on AC/DC power chords and not Beatles chords. I've definitely spent way more time in my life listening to the Beatles and probably playing Beatles songs than AC/DC. Like, I think there's like 2 AC/DC songs that I've played around with. Oh, look at how small this is. Will it get bigger if I do this? Well, no. Will it get bigger if I... Nope. Nope. We're stuck with this little thing. Whatever. You guys don't need to read it. You can kind of see that it's there, right? I mean, I get what they're saying. Like, if you're a big Beatles fan, then a Rickenbacker's gonna be, more what you're looking for. But come on. Come on. I don't know. I guess he has a point. I mean, he probably should have swapped out AC/DC with Nirvana and Green Day, and then and then he'd have a point. Okay, what else do we have here? Then after this one, I'll take a break and I'll take some questions and comments from the 71 people watching right now. This one was recent. I think this came in yesterday. David Presley says, you don't usually see a reviewer who does not play guitar well, ... It would help if he/you could play better, ... No offense, but your approach is a neg that tries to find positive aspects. So in saying that, keep practicing. It would help to be a better player to show what guitar can possibly sound like to a better player. Thanks for the hot tip, I replied to him. If I was the only person making YouTube videos about guitar stuff, he would have a point. Because then, all the good players out there, they would need someone to represent them and to make the sounds that they need to hear with gear. Oh my guys, Andy Martin exists. Pete Thorne exists. If you're waiting for someone to play stuff really, really nicely and show you what the best players in the world can do with pieces of gear, you're not lacking. There's plenty out there that are so amazing. I'm floored by them. I'm floored by these people. Hey, bud, I'm Henry. You got to go. I'm recording a video right now. I can answer that question later. Henry's coming to ask me a Minecraft game question. I'll be out in about an hour, bud. He wants me to fix this video game. I need to put a lock on the garage door. Facebook user. So why don't you just play better, Ryan? I thought I was. I thought I have been playing better. I thought I've been playing a little bit better every year. I should go back and watch some old videos. I'm probably not. And, I have good days. I have bad days. No matter what, I've got to make a video some days to, pay my bills and stuff like that. JW Jeffrey says that I play better than Trogley. I'm not going to say who I play better than or don't play better than, but it's all subjective. I'm sure Trogley has some tricks up his sleeve that, would impress me and make me feel insecure. All right, let's see what other comments we've got here in the live video. Octave Up said, I think Henry came to dunk on your shred skills too. I don't think I've ever heard my kids comment on my playing ability. I don't think they have any way to gauge that. My beard's uneven. There, I fixed it. I got hugs from the Canary Islands. Thank you for the hugs. Thiago Gomez. Your regular jammy handrakes. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan Blocker. Sassy. Oh my gosh. And the great words of the Beatles. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Every time I hear that song, I think of the old oldies radio station we used to have in town, KBS 95, and they would play that little clip for the traffic report. All right, let's do some more comments. I'm buzzing through them. I don't think I'm going to have too many here. Oh, here's a fun one to talk about. We could talk about this for a while, probably. Should not be promoting obvious copyright infringement. Seriously, this is a comment on the Bad Cat Kirk Hammett Explorer guitar that I covered earlier this week. And honestly, like, I mean, I've got a few comments in this direction, and they have a point. When I saw the listing when Bad Cat sent it to me, I saw that it was titled like Kirk Hammett, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, it looks like a Kirk Hammett guitar or whatever. Like they're just naming that. I don't know. And then when it showed up and had EMG printed on the pickups, I took a deep breath and I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. They sent me a guitar that is trying to be James Hetfield. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You're right. That shows how much I care about Metallica. James Hetfield. I messed it up. Thank you for the correction. About Ryan Blocker says, bro, those were not EMGs. They sounded like Dookie. No, they were not EMGs. Tune in on Tuesday. I'm going to publish my video taking one of those pickups apart, and they are not EMGs. But yeah, I've thought about on my own dollar, like going on AliExpress or wherever else, DHgate, and ordering like, these blatant, copyright infringement knockoff guitars, these Chibsons and things like that, these Gibbons guitars, and doing a video on them and showing what you actually get. And then because you can't legally are not supposed to sell those things if they're mislabeled, if they're counterfeits, like as part of the video, destroying the markings on them, destroying the counterfeit branding on them and things like that, and then passing them on to someone if they're worth passing on. But it did make me uncomfortable when I opened up the box and I saw the fake EMGs on there. Like the shape of the guitar, whatever. I don't care. It had a different name on the headstock. But fake EMGs, that's dishonest. It's just dishonest. And I'm not down with it. Copel has pranked me with a super chat. Play the Vitology album. Thanks. Okay, I'll get right on that, Copel. You know what? It's Friday. I did bring the cheap bottle of Senorita tequila in here. I'll have a $5 level shot here. A little sip. There you go. Cheers, Copel. It's just a sip. I don't want to get blasted before I have to cook dinner for my family. Any other good comments here? Oh, interesting. Michael Krause says a coworker bought a Chibson. It was really good, and then he bought another, and it was total garbage. So before Steve and I had the podcast, there was a local deal on Craigslist for what looked like a Gibson and then some other guitar. And we talked about it, and Steve was like, I really want this. And I want to check it out to see if I can flip it. And we're like, is it real? Is it not? We don't know. But the price was so good that it really didn't matter. And he's like, if you can go pick it up, then I'll split the flip with you or something like that. So I went and picked it up, and I could tell something was off with it. When we bring it back and I start looking at it, I open up the control plate and stuff. I'm like, no, this is full on fake. And then you start playing it, and it's like, it plays, but it's like, it's definitely not what it's trying to look at. And I'm positive there are definitely Chibsons out there. There's counterfeits out there that play great, that probably are, a nanometer by nanometer recreation of whatever it's trying to fake. But the gamble is pretty high. And honestly, if you want a recreation like that, the correct way to go about that is to find someone domestic, someone with a reputation behind that. And they're not going to put Gibson on the headstock, but they'll make you something. You tell them that, like, hey, I want something that matches, like these 58 Les Paul specs or whatever. And there's people out there that can build that for you. That's the way to do it. But you're going to spend a good amount of money doing it. You're probably going to spend more than just buying a Gibson. But if you want to be sure that you get something good, then that's the way to go, in my opinion. Patrick M says, your bad cat Dan Armstrong is sold with a Dan Armstrong labeled pickguard and the same ENG. I had one. No, it's not. The one that I have is not. Which is funny because it's from Bad Cat. See, it says Bad Cat on the pickguard. It says Bad Cat Instruments on the pickup. I honestly wonder if this is the same. It might be the same pickup that is in that Explorer. It looks similar through the plexi, the acrylic here. But yeah, they didn't label this one Dan Armstrong, and they didn't put it on the pickguard, and there's no markings on the headstock. If it had said Dan Armstrong on it, I would have called that out and been like, no, that's not cool. I still do enjoy that guitar, and like the stuff with Bad Cat makes me feel a little bit sad that they are doing counterfeits, because that was my first experience getting an actual counterfeit from them. All right, let's see if there's any other hot, spicy comments here. Perfecto says, what's for dinner? I'm 5 minutes away. Perfecto, if you are truly 5 minutes away, just come over, man. Come crash the video. I'm gonna make some shrimp for dinner. I'll make sure that there's food for you to eat if you are 5 minutes away. If you're just saying that, then don't rush over. But if you're 5 minutes away, you should tell me that you're in town anyways. All right, what else do we have here? All right, I think I'm going to pull up another comment here. Let's see what we've got. Alan Mitchell says, I know I've said it before, but damn, Ryan, with a beard, you look just like the police chief on Inspector Gadget. In my head, I know that that's true. I said, I'll take the compliment as a handsome cartoon man. Does he have a beard? I think he does look like me. I'm going to search for it. Inspector Gadget chief. Pull this up into another window, aren't I? Chief Quimby. Yeah, that looks like me. Maybe I can. Here, let me figure out how I can get this on the screen. Oh, this picture is so small. That bums me out. How do I share this? I'm going to stop that. I'm going to share a new screen. All this just to show a picture of a cartoon guy. There he is. Can I make it bigger? There we go. Yeah, that looks like me. I could play him in a movie. Why not, right? Well, can I zoom? There we go. All right, now we're in business. There's 4 or 5 pixels there that we can see now. All right. Got to all these little windows I have to bring up to make this live thing work. Is this a good video? Is this a good video concept, guys? I'm just testing this out. I mean, people really like the troll comments when I publish them on Instagram and whatnot. Bethany Grioski says, your show is good enough that you can review guitars that are made by companies that pay their employees a living wage. See, that's interesting. That is an interesting comment. Can I zoom on this? I hate that it makes it so small on the screen. No, that's the best that we can do. I need to figure out how to get better screen grabs is what I need to do. This is a big topic. Like, this is a big thing to say. Like, I work with pretty much every type of brand that hits me up. I very rarely reach out to companies like, hey, let me work with you. They always come to me, and that's how it works out. And so, like, there's only so many times a year that Fender hits me up. There's only so many times a year that Yamaha hits me up to cover Yamaha guitars or Line 6 products. There's only so many times a year that, brands like that contact me and are ready to hire me to do videos. You know who contacts me all the time? All the little brands, all the import brands. It's what a portion of my living is built around. Like how many, and Destructo has a good point down here. Do any of the guitar companies pay a living wage these days? Like famously, you don't make a good living, even in the United States, being someone who works for a guitar manufacturer. It's a tough business. It is a tough business to make a living in. So that kind of comment, while I get it, there's a lot of people that have, big feelings, and they're not always misguided or misplaced. They have big feelings about, budget import stuff. I get it. But at the same time, what device did you type this comment on? Apple, iPhone, Android, your laptop, a desktop, a tablet. Someone probably making a similar wage to whoever made whatever guitar or pedal was sent to me made that device that you typed that comment on. Factory work is factory work, and that's what those people make. They make factory wages. And another side of it is we don't know. And if I did know, it would probably shape who I do and don't work with, but I don't know. And the commenter doesn't know. They don't actually know what people do and don't make. And you could find out what they do and don't make, but did you find out what is and isn't an actual living wage where they live, and if they work under a government that is subsidizing, their existence in any ways? Like, we don't know the whole picture. I'd like to. I think it would be really great to know the whole picture. I've worked in other industries. I used to work in the apparel industry, and all of the shirts that we were printing, all the shirts that and clothing that you wear is not made in the United States. Maybe it's assembled and crafted, but the fabric comes from elsewhere. If you have something with embroidery on it, I almost guarantee, unless it was made by someone by hand, embroidery almost always comes from China or somewhere else overseas, because the cost involved. It would be so much more expensive for you to have an embroidered hoodie that you bought at Walmart if it was made in, like New Mexico or something like that. And, pick a state, pick a city. It would be so much more expensive. I'm not talking like $5 more expensive. I'm talking like $150 more expensive or something like that. Which kind of, shows you, that so much of the stuff that we buy, we only really get to buy it because of differences in currencies in other countries. Like it's Octave Up said, Ryan, stop reviewing cheap stuff and solve capitalism. Yeah, the weight is on me. Facebook user says, don't they have robots that do embroidery? Yeah, they do. But people have to operate those robots. It's, and I'm sure things have changed since I was in the apparel industry. I'm sure that there's, embroidered order stuff that the prices have come down on, and it's a lot more feasible now and things like that. But for the giant runs, the giant orders that major manufacturers and major brands are doing, I would be really surprised if any of that is being done, even in Mexico. It's got to be done overseas. Embroidertron 4000. You ever play a made in China Fender? You mean a Squire or a Fender? I don't think I've ever made a Fender made in China. Yeah, and that's another thing. Mr. Mean Mr. Mustard says people assume that all of Asia is just a huge sweatshop. There's there's a racism element to that. I'm not just going to say that anyone makes that kind of comment or makes that kind of assumption is racist, but there is a racial energy to it that like China is all sweatshops. And if you're getting something that was made overseas, it definitely came from a sweatshop. We don't know. I mean, I've seen pictures of various factories, and a lot of them look nicer than places I've worked. Of course, they can all be staged or just be stock photos of the nicest factory in town or something like that. But there's another thing where we don't know. I've known expats who move to China and tell me what it's like there, and it sounds like they just live a normal life. And there's working conditions that range all sorts of things. And sometimes we hear horror stories and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm sure employees take very good care of their employers, take good care of their employees. Like humanity is a mess, guys. If there's someone that can be exploited, then someone's going to get exploited. Like that's just human nature, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to go on to the next comment. I mean, it is a complicated issue. And it is one where I wish that I didn't have to think about that as part of what I do, but think hard enough about what you do for a living. And somewhere down the line, there's a good chance you'll find people working outside of your country for wages that are much different than yours, supporting whatever industry that you're in. Like our entire global economy is built on that, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, maybe the history books will say this was a golden time and everything got so much worse when we tried to change it. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know that stuff, and neither are any of you. We're musicians. John Mason, finally a taller one that'll fit the screen a little better. This is what I screen grabbed out of our email. I thought I was watching another YouTuber's video the other day, and I noticed that they were doing the mobile game sponsorship sort of thing. So I thought it would be fun to screen grab a couple of the emails that we get on a daily basis. Every day we get emails from random companies that just found our email address somewhere and was like, oh, here's a YouTube channel. Let's see if they'll promote something. So John Mason asked, I noticed that you've been killing it on your channel lately. We are huge fans of your channel and would like to work with you on advertising our long-term food storage products. We feel that your audience is knowledgeable, prepared, and would accept our products into their homes. If you are interested in potentially partnering with us, please set up a time on our calendar to speak here. And then there's a link. Looking forward to working with you. John M., My Patriot Supply. So this is a prepper website that sells, freeze-dried food and buckets of shelf-stable food and everything that you need to survive the coming apocalypse and things like that. Oh, that's what I was thinking, Craig Lee. Oh, and Michael Krause said it too. Sounds like they want to sponsor a 60 cycle yum. Michael Krause says, well, maybe they love 60 cycle yum. It is possible. This is Ryan for Patriot Pantry. Oh my gosh. Oh, Colin Scott is in here. Yeah, no kidding, Colin. Do not click that link. You think never, ever, ever click the link in these emails. Like that is how you get scammed. I looked at My Patriot Supply. I typed that into Google to look at what the website was. Like you never, ever want to click on those links as YouTubers. That's how channels get stolen. That's how you get hacked. I never click links in emails that look legit. Now Fender sends me a link, I'm like, I can go search for it on their site, like send me a JPEG of your PDF or whatever, because I'm not opening anything. I don't want my channel hacked, even if I can get it back after a couple days. But I did kind of crack up at the thought of setting up a meeting with this company and working something out, and then like the sponsorship spot is like a very, very like much farther left wing than I actually am, take on survival stuff on the coming apocalypse. Just be like, MAGA is trying to drive us all underground. Are you prepared for the coming conservative apocalypse? You need to protect your family from right-wingers with guns, so get your own guns. And just go on some sort of rant that would be the opposite of what they think their target market is. And I think I would have a lot of fun with that. And I'm almost positive that this and so many other things like this are always for like affiliate earnings. I don't want affiliate programs outside of Guitar Gear. That's stupid. That's silly. I don't want to push people to mobile games. That's silly and stupid. And honestly, like, no disrespect to my friends in the guitar YouTube industry. I know some of them have done the mobile game thing. Sometimes it's easy money. Sometimes it's like, read this thing, we'll give you $100. It's like, well, sure. I know my audience probably isn't going to care anyway, so might as well get that $100. It's tacky. I think it's embarrassing for all of us when channels do the mobile game thing. Like, if you're a gaming channel, yeah, sure. If you're just a random like general entertainment channel, sure. The guitar YouTube industry, the scene, there's plenty of Guitar Gear sponsors out there that want to promote their wares. They're brands that you'll believe in. They're brands that you want to associate with as creators. Don't cheapen what you do with these dumb mobile game ads, is what I have to say. Like, it legitimately makes me feel embarrassed when I see that going on. So that's my hot take on that. All right, what else do we have here? Oops, the scroll wheel is really itchy. Okay, we got someone who's mad at me for playing metal. Dude, I don't know what metal songs you're listening to, but that is the worst metal tone ever. Just get a Wampler Pinnacle Deluxe version 2, and you'll do fine. Hell, even the Waza Metal Zone pedal has a better tone by itself. Of course, maybe it's the pickups. My very first electric guitar was an Explorer body style. I liked it a lot and played it endlessly through my last 3 years in high school. I liked it much better than my V. My buddy has an Ibanez V, and it just didn't work for me. So it started out with him gatekeeping me with metal. And I replied, I only listen to real metal. Restricted mark. Approved by Real Metal Gatekeepers Union Local 666. I don't know if my metal tone is any good or at all or anything. It's high gain. I got my pinch harmonics. I got some squealies. Like, what else do you want? It sounded heavy to me. He's talking about tone with fake EMGs, says Ryan Blocker. Octave Up says Raid Shadow Legends of Fuzz. If I had time, it would be fun to make a fake mobile ad game that was based around pedals, like a Candy Crush, but it's all guitar pedals coming down. That would be fun. Man, if I had 3 days to blow on making animations, I would do that. I knocked something over. I heard a clink. Oh man. Mr. Mustard says, clearly this is Wampler's doing some guerrilla marketing. Ha ha. I've noticed, and I know Brian Wampler personally, and I know other people within, the Wampler company and whatnot, because of course I do. There's a fandom element to Wampler stuff where those people are kind of touchy. Like, Wampler fans, it's beautiful. It's beautiful for Wampler. They're enthusiastic. They're a bit too enthusiastic. Oh man, pedal Tetris, dude, I'd crush some pedal Tetris. And like it's not one pedal that you have to stack onto a board and then they all disappear. It's like 3 pedals combined and it comes down in a shape. Oh man, that'd be fun. And then you get points for lining up different pedals and things like that. If only there were enough guitarists playing mobile games to make it worth it, you know? And maybe if you level up enough in the game, like they do tournaments in the game, then you win an actual pedal sometime. Cranky Dragon says, I'm really good at Tetris. Me too. Me too, Cranky Dragon. I'm a Tetris boy. Born and raised on the old Game Boy, on the black and green Game Boy. I'd get to the shuttle at the end. I'd see that space shuttle take off because I'd get all the way through. I do the Tetris on the Switch now. And it's like multiplayer against like 100 people at a time. I end up in the top 5 from time to time. I'm not excellent. Like I've never made it to number 1, but I get in the top 5 from time to time. Not every single time, but every now and then. Michael Cross says, I kick butt at moving because of Tetris. Yeah. All you Tetris players out there. Everyone's calling you. If you've got a truck and you play Tetris, everyone's calling you when it's moving time. All right. But metal guys, why are you so spicy? Like, I get that you love a genre that fronts like you're so strong and tough and macho and masculine, but you're all so touchy and sensitive and so easily upset. Just tears rolling down your cheeks, typing, that wasn't very good metal tone, like you blah 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 blah. Like, why are you like that? Why are metal fans so insecure? Is what I want to know. You don't need to be insecure. Your music is fun. Your music is fun. It's good music. It's silly music. It's humorous. You're screaming and squealing about Vikings and whatever, Ayn Rand thing you read earlier in the day or whatever. Like, it's fun and it's silly. Stop taking it so seriously that you think you need to lash out at people and gatekeep your precious squealy dive bomby chugga chuggas. Like, let more people have fun with your fun, silly music. Ryan Blocker says, humorous. You're going to make them mad. I'm not going to make them mad. Metal people don't get mad. They get sad because they're insecure. I'm not joking right now. I see it over and over and over and over again. Like, listen to a metal fan talk about pop music. They're insecure. They're upset. And they don't need to be. Their genre is more than enough. They don't need to be jealous of the fandom of other genres. Do you need a hug? Metal guys? Metal ladies? Metal everyone's? Do you need a hug? Because it kind of feels like you need a hug. All right. Do I have more? I have more. Okay, here's a fun topic. Steve and I could probably just do this to generate topics for the podcast. Just bring up YouTube comments. The one elephant in the room. Would you know if the guitars you receive for a review have gone through special scrutiny by the manufacturer, etc.? So I'm not going to read my reply. I'll do it. I'll read it. I'll read it because it'll get me in the right track here. I get so many guitars that have had issues no sane brand would intentionally send out for a review. I have to assume the vast majority of the time that's not happening. Of course, anything is possible, but yeah, the evidence shows that it shouldn't be a common concern. Watch the Bad Cat video, and then I didn't expand it. But okay, Skooma Plug sent me a super chat, and he says that he's a metal fan, so I'll read it after I take this shot, and then I'll talk about this comment some more. Thank you, Skooma Plug. Ryan, as a metal fan, I'm sorry for your experiences with other metal fans. I don't understand why people gatekeep it so hard, but I've been guilty too. Look inside yourself. When you feel that itch, when you feel that need, that desire to gatekeep, to get defensive, to get offensive, to go on the attack, think about why. Think about why you feel that way. Is it because other genres exist? They have the gall to exist. People have the gall to enjoy other music. They might enjoy metal as well. They probably do. And metal is an incredibly popular genre of music. It is an extremely successful genre of music that is loved across the globe, around the entire world. In space right now, people are listening to metal. I'm sure of it. There's nothing to be insecure about. Metal people. I hope that was a message that warmed your heart and made you feel the love and the hug across the internet that you needed to feel. So yeah, getting guitars that are handpicked, special picked to be the special, perfect version of the guitar sent by a brand. I'm sure it happens. I'm really sure it does from time to time. But I think that the brands that are doing that are starting out with a really good product to begin with, because here's the most expensive thing in guitar production is the labor. It just is. The human labor. That is the most expensive part. It's not the parts. It's the human labor. And every step of human labor makes a guitar more expensive. These cheap brands, these budget brands, they don't have someone on staff that's going to go through dozens of guitars and find the special good one. It would cost too much money. They don't put that effort in. They're not going to. It's not worth the cost. If you've got a small builder who makes maybe a dozen guitars a month and they want to send something out for a demo or for a review, whatever you consider it, they're going to hand pick whatever they made. They're like, this is the one that I want to represent my brand. And they probably have a fairly wide variety of options across their builds. So that's kind of the way I see it. Also, the vast majority of like the budget stuff that I get, even stuff from like Fender and your Yamahas and stuff like that, the moment in email I go like, oh yeah, send it to me, I'll film it. It's usually here in a day or two, which means it's already in a warehouse somewhere. It's already packed up. No one is examining it. No one's opening it up and checking out to make sure it's. They're like, oh, put item, SKU number, blah 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 on the truck to this address. They're not opening it up. They're not going through the warehouse and finding the best one. It's just not realistic. All right. Ryan Blocker, another super chat. You guys are going to make me sipsy for my dinner. I'm going to make a sipsy shrimp dinner for my family. Ryan Blocker says, more than words is the only way to a metal heart. I like that. If you want to, I always like this tequila vision here. That's fun, right? If you want to earn your way into a metal geek caper's heart, more than words is the path for you. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, that's the last one. Is it? No, it can't be. Okay. Yeah, it's not the last one. Got a comment on my mono price amp video. Thanks for the video. Sort of. Probably about 4 times as long as it needs to be. Probably needs someone that actually knows a bit more about amplifiers than just, wow, I was surprised. Perhaps someone with enough technical knowledge to tell me why I should purchase this over, say, a comparable big name amp with similar attributes. That said, I see one of these monoprice 15-watt rigs on a Facebook Marketplace and might pull the trigger on it. Yeah, you found the wrong channel, dude. I don't know how stuff works. I can examine stuff in my own way when it's in my hands, and I'm experiencing it with my own ears. But I don't know how stuff works. I don't know how pedals work. I know a few little buzzwords and things like that. I don't know how to build a guitar. I don't know how amps work. Like, I don't even like I know which amps I've owned that I like. And I never spend the time to like, I wonder why I like that amp. What tubes are responsible for me liking that amp? I know I like Princeton's. I know I like PD Classic 50s. I know I like my acoustic control 350s, 150. Yeah, I've got two of them. So I've got 300 acoustic control units. I know when I like an amp. I don't know why that amp is why the way it is. If I knew those things, if I knew why I like amps for the way that they are, I'd probably be building amps. I'd probably be building pedals. I'd probably be building guitars. This is not a channel for that. This is not a channel where I do anything or know anything. Colin Scott feeling the pain on that one. CS Guitars. People say they want more technical info from reviews and then don't watch my videos. Oh my gosh. It's as creators, like Colin and I feel the pain on that. Like people say what they want. And then when you work really, really hard to give it to them, those are the videos that no one watches. But it's like, it's a dozen people have claimed that they really, really want this. And I gave it to them. And I guess a dozen people watched it and no one else. Like when I first started doing demos, like I was one of those people. When I watched demos, I was like, why is there all this talking? Why don't they just get to playing? Just make it short. I want this video to be 2 minutes long. I want it to get to the point, and I don't want any talking in it. And then when I started creating content and started making videos, I realized no one actually watches that style video because that's what I was trying to make. I was trying to make really short, fast, personality-less videos, no person on screen, captions at the most, and no one wanted to watch them. But the moment I put myself on screen and started chatting it up and flapping my gums, then I started getting views. So it's kind of like the viewer, even though you think you know what you want, you don't respond the way you think you're going to in a meaningful way, in a way that would encourage that kind of content to be created. Because, just like Colin Scott, like if people were just consuming his technical videos, I know Colin well enough to know that he would be making a ton of technical videos. He likes the technical stuff. He would make that exclusively if that's what got views. If just making 5-minute demo videos with no talking and not having to be on screen got me the views that I'm looking for, that's all I would do. That's all I would do. Daniel Hoskins says, are you saying the consumer isn't always right? The consumer is almost never right. That saying is BS. Well, what that saying is, people take that saying the wrong way. When you're face to face with a consumer, if you're in a customer service situation, then it's like, it's a yes, sir, yes, ma'am sort of interaction. You're not trying to piss them off. You're trying to get them satiated and out the door with money in the cash register. You're not trying to make them feel like they're wrong. But the entire time, they're wrong. They're not actually right. We all know they're not actually right. Everyone who's worked in a customer service job, who's interacted with customers, with clients even, compared to the expert that's doing the work, sometimes they have a good idea. Sometimes they definitely do have a good idea. But an expert will know when it's a good idea because they're the expert. They're like, you know what? You have a point. I'm going to try that. Or I'll go check that out. We'll see if that works. But the vast majority of input that professionals and experts get from clients, customers, lay people, whatever. It's just like, yeah, you just said the thing that like, it's a cliche that we all know that that's not right. Well, that's not always true. 710 says customers are assholes. It's sometimes definitely true to an overwhelming degree. Black Mantle said, everyone says the Dreamcast is the best, but they all bought a PlayStation. Betamax was the best. Everyone bought into VHS. We see countless versions of that. And there's reasons why those things happen. There's business reasons, distribution, licensing, and things like that. Cost. There are, sometimes quality is overshadowed by cost and availability. And in the case of making demo videos, if I was only in it just to document every pedal that was ever made and show off just what it does, I could, and if I could just make a living doing that, then I could just do that. But I had to learn to be on camera and learn how to do the thing that I do and have a personality on camera, which was an exhausting thing to learn how to do. And it was very awkward and embarrassing a lot of times, but now I can do it. And now I feel qualified to be like a news anchor if I wanted to, which is a bizarre skill set to have. Oh, didn't I already screen grab that? Okay. Oh, this is another, offer to do a sponsorship from Yosuda Bicycles. Oh, man. In the early days of the Facebook group, we used to get people joining all the time to spam us with bicycle advertisements because the name of the show is 60 Cycle Hum. You got cycle in your name and the bicycle advertisers come for you. And that's what's going on here. So this was a little bit of a nostalgia ride for me. Hi, Ryan. We're excited to extend an offer to join the Yosuda Bikes affiliate program. I should look up these bikes to see if they're cool. I like riding bikes. I just don't make any content with bikes. Yosuda program highlights. We offer 5% commission on all sales. A cookie life of 30 days. 30-day averages, highs over $250. Fast, free shipping orders, high conversion rates. Please reach out if you have any questions or special requests. We look forward to your partnership. I mean, that's an interesting offer. If I was a bike channel, that's an interesting offer. I'm not familiar with that brand at all. 5%. Let's look these guys up. Yosuda Bikes. And again, never click the links. I don't see any links in this one, but oh, wait, these are stationary bikes. These are for exercise. What? And they start out at like $299 and they go up from there. Got one for $450. I know I'm not showing you guys. They're exercise bikes. I was a little bit excited there for a moment. Colin says, I get a bunch of fluid valve offers because I must have valve in my tag somewhere. Oh, man. They're just exercise bikes. I don't want an exercise bike. I thought it was gonna be like a mountain bike, like a road bike or something like that. Next Peloton will email you. Man. Do I look like a fitness content creator? I don't think so, guys. I mean, I'm not as big a boy as I used to be. I'm in much better shape than I used to be. But I'm not the person you want selling and promoting your exercise equipment. Yosuda bikes come with fake EMGs. Oh my gosh. Ryan just boat insurance himself. So I have a thing where whenever I'm hanging out with friends and we're talking about, like internet stuff, I just start saying like, hey, aren't you shopping for boat insurance? And the joke is like, Facebook is listening and we're going to start getting ads for boat insurance after that. Peak mail form, says Colin. Yeah, you seem fit to be a guitarist to me, says Alan. Oh, man. Destructo says, I lost 100 pounds playing guitar. 5 easy tricks in this video. Oh my gosh. 60 cycle hum. Robert says 60 cycle hum exercises while you play guitar, your own workout music. Sweating to the shred. There's got to be some sort of pun there. What is a good? I want like a Richard Simmons or like Susan Summers sort of like slogan. That's my challenge to you guys. And I'll close out this video with that challenge. I want an exercise slogan challenge for a YouTube exercise series. You know, Mike Adams did a couple of videos when COVID first started where he was like doing workouts at home by lifting up cabs and things like that. Like he was like pumping iron to metal, pumping iron heavy. There's some sort of thing there. Jazz or size. Ah, idiot burns. That's a good one. Sweating while surfing. People are going to think actual surfing in the sea. Shredding to the oldies. Oh, that's a fun idea. Have it hooked to a generator to power an amp. Even like powering like a pedal. You know how like gain pedals will change their clipping depending on the voltage going into them. Like someone's pedaling a bike and it's powering a rig for someone else to play. 60 cycle guns. Then I'm going to get, you know, the sponsorship offers for firearms. 60 cycle pump. Wiggle that stick. Pedaling to the pentatonics. Oh, pentatonic pedaling. Oh, that's kind of good. That's kind of better than I thought it would be. There's something there too. All right. I'm going to go make dinner for my family. This has been fun, guys. I wonder if I should publish this as an audio podcast as well. If the audio is good enough off of StreamYard, I might do that as an extra bonus for the audio podcast listeners. I don't throw enough extras their way. I tend to focus on YouTube. But thanks to everyone that tuned in. If you liked this content, if you liked the feedback concept of me reading various comments as they come in, I'm going to just start screen grabbing, you know, comments that I think are cool that I would normally publish on Instagram and whatnot and make a video series out of them. Let me know. Let me know if you liked this. Obviously, people stuck around. We were over 100 viewers for the most part during this. But yeah, I'm testing this out. I think there's some legs here. I want to try it out. But anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Do all the normal stuff, like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked and stay grounded.